Hello and welcome to Monday's programme. I'm Kylie Pentelow.
And I'm John T. Messer. Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. The families of two young men who died after collapsing at a nightclub in Plymouth on Saturday have paid tribute to them.
Aaron Riley and Joshua Brock were rushed to Derriford Hospital, where they later died after taking what is thought to have been the drug MDMA. Grace Pascoe is outside Prism nightclub in Plymouth for us. Grace, what more do we know about these tragic deaths?
Next tonight, armed police officers may become a common sight across Devon, Cornwall and Dorset this Christmas as both police forces increase their presence at key locations over the festive period.
They stress it's not in response to a specific threat, but say the officers will provide reassurance and brings them in line with other forces. Nick Smith reports.
Meanwhile, nearly 600 firearms were handed in to Devon and Cornwall police during the firearms and ammunition surrender last month. That's a
Dog owners in Dorset have been asked to keep their animals away from sheep after an increase in livestock worrying.
People have been given the chance to see the updated design for Devon's newest town.
Next tonight, homelessness is now an emergency. That's according to the Big Issue founder John Bird, who has told ITV News that Britain is facing its worst winter crisis for more than 2 decades.
A report from the National Audit Office.
Well, the government says it is investing billions, but critics say they need to do more. Here's Chloe Keeley. And still plenty more to come on the programmes before 6:30, including... Before that, though, we're going to talk about a condition which affects more than 14,000 people across the southwest. Now, people at risk of life-threatening asthma attacks are being urged to wear a scarf over their nose and mouth to protect themselves from cold air, which can be a trigger. The
annual Scarfie campaign, as it's known, is being backed by a host of celebrities, as Richard Slee now reports.
Now, you may remember that last month we brought you the story of Andrew Cotton from Braunton.
Well, we're very pleased to say that Andrew is now back at home in Devon, and I caught up with him a little earlier and began by asking just how he's feeling. That's what happened, and did you actually realise how badly hurt you were? Had any thoughts about going back in the water yet? Aren't you? But surfing is now full-time, it's life for you, isn't it? More exciting, doesn't it? Now, I was in Woolacombe last week, in fact, and there were still plenty of surfers there. Are the waves here in the West Country big enough for you these days, though, Andrew? In the world, of course. Andrew, thanks very much. That was Andrew Cotton there speaking to me a little bit earlier. Now, the ITV News continues with the national and the international stories at 6:30. Mary Nightingale has the details.
And a reminder of the main headlines here in the West Country this Monday evening. The families of... Now let's move on to sport, and Plymouth Argyle moved closer to League One safety with a last-minute winner against fellow strugglers Gillingham.
Well, victory means they're on to rugby, and a first home defeat in a year has dented Exeter Chiefs' hope of reaching the European Champions Cup quarter-finals. Winger James... Now, it's 10 months since a fire swept through the 13th century Bell Inn at Parkham in North Devon, but the village hasn't let it dampen their Christmas spirit.
No, while repairs to the pub are still nowhere near finished, the community gathered for a festive lunch today in their temporary local, as Bob Cruz now explains.
For them, it looked like fun.
Yeah, have a lovely Christmas, guys. Now, for all of you I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here fans, you will know that Torquays Georgia Toffolo, better known as Toff, has been crowned Queen of the Jungle.
Yep, the Made in Chelsea TV star was the favourite going into the final, and family and friends gathered in her hometown for the result, as Rishi Davda reports. Oh my goodness, rather her than me.
Well done, Toff.
Very brave.
I watched a lot of it. She was a tough cookie.
Yeah, good for her. We'll have the weather for you in a moment, but before we do, some quick news about a new arrival in Cornwall. I thought they were called sloths, but our producer said I had to say sloth. There you go.
Well, it is weather time now. Maybe Bob can clear up the weather rather than the name of a sloth or a sloth. Bob, we dodged the worst of the weather, didn't we?
Absolutely. I mean, further north, as we all know.
Bob, thanks very much indeed. And that is it from all of us this Monday evening. I'll be back, though, with the late news for you. That's at 10:30 tonight.
Now I'll hand you to Mary Nightingale as the ITV News continues. From all of us, have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.